I've been really interested in high fidelity audio recently. I've spent several days researching about it, and what I have learned is that it all boils down to several key factors: the sound stage, imaging, and frequency response. Now, sound is made out of vibrations, and vibrations are a series of fast movements moving back and forth or side to side. Like, for example, when you strum a string of the, it creates vibrations, thus producing sound. What's the difference between music and sound? Music consists of organized or structured sound. It's the art of arranging or combining sounds to create a harmonious melody. Now, we experience high quality audio whenever we go to the cinemas to watch movies or to audio shows to listen to songs and try out different kinds of audio gears. The problem is most hi-fi stereos or home cinema systems have a high cost to entry, so you need to shell out a decent amount of cash, plus having the need to have a dedicated room and space for it, setting up all the wires, adding sound panels for acoustic treatment. This made me decide to go to the headphones route. Now, audiophile headphones with all hi-fi equipments are still expensive, but it is bearable compared to home cinema systems if you know where to start. But what if you're on a budget? Can you still experience good high-fidelity audio on a low price? This is where Chi-Fi or the Chinese high-fidelity audio gear come in place. Now, having gone through research, learning, and understanding audio terms, like what I've mentioned earlier, soundstage, imaging, frequency response, plus learning about impedance and sensitivity. Now, soundstage is the size of the sound. You can hear how wide or how far away things sound like, while imaging is where the things are placed within the sound. These two concepts are important for immersion whenever you are watching movies or playing games.
Long last.
Stick.
And also, it is critical for competitive FPS wherein you rely on the sound to know where the enemy is located. Impedance, from what I've understood, is the resistance of electrical signals coming from the device, and it is measured in ohms, while sensitivity is how efficiently they turn that signal into sound. The frequency response graph provides a prediction on how the headphones would sound like before we buy them. So just by looking at the graph, we can tell whether the headphones would sound bright, dark, or warm sounding. Bright sounding headphones lean more to the treble side. In the high frequencies, you can hear the tss, 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 tss more clearly, but sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming. Dark is the opposite, so the high frequencies can be a bit muffled. Warm emphasizes on the lower part of the frequency graph, so it leans more on the mids and the bass. Typically, high-end headphones tend to have higher ohm impedance, tend to have higher
sensitivity.
They are usually harder to drive and would require an amplifier for them to sound optimal. optimal. Now, what I've gone with are the Philips SHP 9500 paired with the Fosi Audio K5 Pro DAC amp. The Philips are not technically Chi-Fi since it is manufactured by the Dutch company Philips. However, it is heavily associated with the term Chi-Fi since it is often sold on platforms such as AliExpress, Shopee, and Lazada. These cans are very popular in the budget audiophile community, selling for around $50 to $80, and some would say that it is the gateway to high fidelity audio. This is my first ever open back headphones. For comparison, right now I've only got two other headphones, which are the HyperX Cloud 2 and the Edifier W830NB, and both are closed back headphones. The first thing I've noticed when putting on the Philips is they are very comfortable. When it comes to sound, I can immediately tell how the vocals seem to lean more forward on your face.
Hey man, he was in my face.
I'm in your face.
Especially when you are in a treated room, you can tell that there's definitely good imaging and soundstage. I can feel the separation between the instruments and the vocals. It also feels like the instruments are more spread apart whenever I would compare them to my Cloud 2s. It's night and day difference. You can feel the Cloud 2s feels like the instruments are only placed at one spot, while the Philips you can clearly tell they are spread apart. Bass in the 9500 is present, but I would say it's not as deep compared to the Cloud 2s, but the delivery is very clean and tight. When it comes to treble, it sounds bright, but it's not ear-piercing compared to the Cloud 2s, which sound very treble boosted, especially on the female voices. It's very harsh. So the Philips are tamed and you can easily listen for hours. Pairing the 9500 with the Fosi K5 Pro with its bass and treble knob, you can easily tweak the sound of the Philips. So I added a little bit of bass at around 2 o'clock while the treble stayed at the default 12 o'clock position. And now it's perfect for my needs. So whenever I'm listening to music, watching movies, and playing games, perfect sound. Plus, by just moving the treble knob, adjusting whenever I would need more treble or more bass, it's direct. I don't need to mess around with software anymore. So that's good. After a great experience with my first ever dynamic open back headphones, I'm now curious how much of a difference planar headphones would sound like, just like the Hi-Fi-Man Edition XS. How different it would sound like compared to dynamic headphones, dynamic drivers. So that's gonna wrap up my first ever experience with open back headphones. If you have anything to share about your first time trying out hi-fi audio or got any tips on this hobby, I'd like to know your thoughts about it. Peace out, kita kits!